everyone, and welcome to the 2025-2026 League Managers Note mid-match review for the semifinals. That's round two. I am your champion. I have the trophy right here. I've had the trophy for a long time, and we all know it. Sometimes I just kind of lay with it and touch it and feel it. I'm joined today by Joel Gibson. Tonight, I guess.
Yeah.
And we're moving along a day later than normal, but hey, we're still cooking here. We got 3 matchups to go over, Joel Gibson. This video should not be long at all.
It should not.
All right. Well, let's just get right into it, unless you have any preliminary thoughts.
Let's go.
Okay. We will start with the consolation bracket, because I enjoy starting with that during the playoffs. The battle for the number 1 pick. It looks like Steven's going to run away with this. It wouldn't have mattered if it was Jake. Hell, I don't even think it would have mattered if it was Cody. Steven is putting up some really good numbers here, and I think he's going to earn the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much set in stone right now. Steven's team is playing unbelievable ball right now. He would be fucking up some of the playoff teams, I think, right now.
And he's not cycling. That's the thing. He'd be fucking up some playoff teams without cycling.
Matt, I think, made a half-honest effort to cycle at first, but he was just getting pounded. He was just getting stretched out, and it just wasn't working for him. So Steven gets the number 1 pick. I'm happy for Steven. I believe that you felt that Trae Young pick, or that Trae Young trade, was one of the worst trades, I think a direct quote from you was. And if Steven ends up with the number 1 pick in it, it does change things a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine with him getting his number 1 pick back, but that was also at a time when Cody was a little bit healthier, and I didn't know how things were going to end. It was value for value, I think. I still stand by it. I wasn't a fan of the trade. I know Steven's not going to watch. I just don't, I'm not trying to insult him.
Steven's definitely not going to watch.
Yeah, I'm not trying to talk about him behind his back, but I think with the time the trade went down, I also said it in the messenger as well of what I thought. But we're going to see, especially how this number 1 pick turns out. And maybe it'll be interesting. It's interesting because it could be a similar cap hit, probably a little bit cheaper, from going from Trae, but how much is he going to play with Washington? Also, keep in mind that he made the trade when Trae was still with the Hawks. Like, there's a lot of things that have happened since then that
He may have foreseen it.
Yeah, he may have foreseen it. He may not have foreseen it. And I can tell you, if Steven came to me 2 weeks before, it was like, hey, I got a hot tip for you. Trae Young is going to go to the Wizards. And then it happened, I would have shit my pants, okay? So I'm just letting you know that if he did have a hot tip, I still wasn't buying it, okay?
Well, good effort, Matt. You suck. Congratulations, Steven.
Congratulations, Steven. If it does end that way, it'll go Steven, Jake, Cody, and then Matt as the top 4. So Jake will actually get 2 and 4. Which, that's also good in my opinion. Jake's got a lot of cap space, so it was worth the risk. And at the time, I still thought that Matt had a better chance than Jake with Jake's injuries. Matt just got hammered with injuries as well. Edgecombe, that team's not going anywhere. Curry, it would have been completely different if Matt was healthy, but he wasn't. That being said, we'll get right into these semifinal matchups. We're going to start with the number 1 seed because I have respect like that. And right now, currently, this matchup is tied between Eric and Kyle. Kyle is dead in the water here with adding at least, but is somehow still keeping up. He lost Maxey at least for 1 more game with that broken hand situation. I believe it was his non-dominant hand, so it's a very similar situation to the Harden. And it hasn't really been affecting Harden that much. I don't know if you've been watching, but playing pretty good for Cleveland out there. I think that Eric's going to win, if only because he can use this week to finish cycling out Kyle in the categories that he needs. It is interesting to me because Eric has been on the wire, and I will say while we're talking about it, I'm going to update the waiver wire ads. Nobody has added to this point, but at the beginning of this week it reset, so like today. And I just didn't get to it today. I wanted to, but I didn't. I have a lot of stuff going on. I'm very tired, and I chose to take a nap today, rather than resetting the free agent ads for the league so far. So everybody was in double digits anyway. It didn't matter. You couldn't possibly outcycle how much I had, at least for today. But they will be corrected either tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm going to guess tomorrow morning because it's late and I'm trying to get some sleep before I have to feed Theo at like 2, I think now. Yeah, it's going to be... It's 2. 2 and 5. So I'm going to do my best to get some sleep before that happens. But I think that Eric's going to win this matchup. I think Eric's going to go to his second championship, I believe. He lost the first time, and I foresee him losing again. But making it to 2 championships, I believe that ties Steven for the most winningest team to not have a championship. Matt only made it once. You and I have made it a bunch of times. We've won a bunch of times. Cody, I think, has only made 1 championship and has not won. And he can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I think Steven and Eric, and it's interesting to me that Eric took like 3 years off in order to do that. So, yeah. Anything on that matchup?
Yeah, the most interesting thing, I think, is, like you mentioned, Kyle can't stream, and Eric can stream the shit out of him. And right now, the difference in points is 843 to 842. So obviously pretty close, and I think points are probably the most streamable category out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I also predict Eric to win, and we'll see Kyle back with a vengeance next year.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, gonna be a quick video. We'll get into my matchup real quick. I'm the champ, and I am putting up a line that would defeat some teams if you combine them right now. I will reach 2,000 points this week. I'm doing it extremely injured and cycling 3 rookies. My ads have been better than I even proclaimed them to be, as a waiver wire warrior, if you will. I literally just can't be stopped. And Joel, I have something here for Doug. It's a pillow and it's a blanket. It's a little baby blanket because it's time to go night-night, Doug. Just like I've been doing with my 2 boys all week, I'm going to put you to bed this week. Better luck next year. I'm the champ.
Gross. I watched tonight Denver versus OKC, and that was such a fun game. I wish it were a closer matchup between you and Doug right now, and that it was
so does Doug.
And that it was impacting the matchup more. I think Doug is, like Kyle, one of the teams of the future that is going to be really tough to beat, and I can't wait till you're one of the teams of the past.
Yeah, well, we'll see how long it takes for me to get there. Yeah, I mean, not a lot else to say. I think that, I've basically had a perfect postseason here, and I've got one more matchup to go for a championship.
I fucking hate you so much.
To win 5 in a row. That's going to take a long time for anybody to catch me. If you don't have a championship right now, it'll literally take you half a decade to catch up to just this streak that I've been on. So you can talk about being a team of the past or whatever, but they still talk about Showtime. They still talk about the Bird years. They still talk about the Russell years. They still talk about the Jordan years. And let me tell you, we're going to be talking about the Modest years for a very, very, very long time, Joel Gibson.
You're the reason I do drugs.
All right. With that said, I have to get some sleep. That 2 o'clock is coming very fast. Um, Congratulations, everybody, thus far, and we will do another recap on Sunday. I assume just confirming everything that we have. If anybody has any questions or anything that like that, let me know. Free agency ads, like I said, will be updated in the morning. In case Doug wants to start up that double cycle. Other than that, anything, Joel?
Nope. See you Sunday.
See you Sunday. One more glance at the trophy. 5 in a row. Got him.